Hi, my name is Jess Thomas. Being brown, I see the world through a different lens. As I encounter other brown friends, I find commonality, but in our differences, I find strength as I hear about the ways they have persevered by being bold. This podcast is a storytelling platform that highlights brown folks doing amazing things in their corner of the world. And for our non-brown friends, you're so welcome to step into our shoes and hear our perspective, ways we've battled and overcome, be it external or internal forces. What the world needs now is love, but we cannot truly love each other deeply unless we know each other. Hear from inspirational guests who have had a journey filled with highs and lows. We're going to step away from that highlight reel and hear personal stories that have grown them to be more than what they thought they'd be. So I'd love for you to join us on this journey of being brown and bold. My own journey has been filled with lots of ups and downs. I'm a New York girl, born and raised, and I've lived all around the country, from Boston, Illinois, California, and now in the hills of Tennessee and Appalachia. My first real encounter with being bold, I remember this when I was in 8th grade. I met this girl who was just a few years older than me. And I had just, gone to school, watched TV when I came home, did my homework, didn't really think about my life other than just doing the daily grind. And this woman was a cool teenager. She was beautiful. She was doing calligraphy. I'm like, oh, I thought like just fancy people. Oh, wait, you are a fancy person. But then just the things she shared about her life felt accessible. I'm like, wait, I could be like that too. And I remember just as like a 12, 13-year-old thinking, I can do something significant with my life. At that time, I didn't really know what I wanted to do. So I just decided, you know what, I'm just going to go on this journey. So over the years, I have been able to do so many different things. I've worked in advertising, public relations. I've gone to seminary. I've got my master's in Christian education. I've worked with women, with teenagers, doing a lot of mentoring and teaching. I homeschooled our kids, which I never thought I would do. And they're all responsible, respectful adults that are doing amazing things in this world. And I'm just so proud of them. And then I dived into the culinary world. And I have worked on the behind the scenes in Chopped, the Food Network show. And I never thought that's something I would be able to do. I've gotten recipes published in Food and Wine and Food 52. I have met amazing people from around the world. And I think about like my little life that I once had and thought, if I take chances, if I take risks, what's the worst that can happen? I could fail, but so what? Everybody fails. And so as I've gone on this journey, I've also met these other people who have done the same thing, and they teach me and they inspire me. I would say one of my biggest inspirations is my faith. It's not a common, especially in America, to be brown and to be a Christian. Lots of brown people are usually other religions. And when I went to college, I got to meet people from all different backgrounds. Hindus, Punjabis that were Gujarati, but Punjabis who were Muslim, and Punjabis who were Zoroastrian. Like, I met people of different ethnic backgrounds as well as faith backgrounds, and I learned so much. I met Jewish people who were able to teach me about their faith, and I realized there's not one way to do it. They do it all different ways, kind of like Christians do. So I feel like faith is really important, and it informs a lot of people in the way they make their decisions. It affects their worldview, and that's something I want to hear more about because I really learn from other people and I get to experience their world. And it just makes me love them more. So that's one of the reasons why I want to do this podcast, is so that we can share all these stories and hear from different perspectives and really get to know each other and really to love each other more deeply. Something that I'm probably going to ask a lot of people is, what's your beverage of choice? Because being brown and from Kerala, India, chaya is very common. And in America, Starbucks sells chai tea lattes. And in between, there's a variety of drinks. There's even something called Madras coffee, which I had this morning, which is made completely differently than the way Westerners make their coffee. So I want to hear more about these things. if these are things that excite you and interest you, I would love for you to share about this podcast, Being Brown and Bold, with other people so they too can be inspired. We all could use a little encouragement in our day-to-day. So I'm hoping to have people share what got them through hard times, especially I know that being raised in one culture of being growing up in a neighborhood that is Italian, Irish, Catholic was completely different from the Malayali life that I had, especially on weekends when we would have lots of activities and family friends that would do specific Kerala focused things in our parties. So I want you to be able to enjoy those things as well. Something stereotypical of our culture that's actually true. I know that I run a kitchen here in my home. I have an underground secret restaurant as well. And something typical that I grew up is our dishwasher was our drying rack. And it was totally true. It's a stereotype and it was true. So that was one of the things I vowed, that when I have my own kitchen, I would actually use my dishwasher, and I actually do. I also have a condiment drawer that has my Taco Bell sauces, as well as other sauces and rubber band collection. Is it a stereotype? Yes. But is it true? It is. So I hope that our guests would share something that also is stereotypical, but is actually true. And if somebody is listening who doesn't have this kind of perspective, what I want you to know is it is totally okay to ask me questions. Instead of asking me, where are you really from? Ask me, what is your ethnicity? What is your ethnic background? What's the story of your family? And I would love to share that with you. So that's a little bit about me and my corner of the world. I work in nonprofit, helping healthcare students who are encouraged by their faith to practice healthcare among those who are experiencing poverty. That's my regular go-to job. And in between, I get to do fun things like talk to amazing people and cook food and eat delicious meals, because my rule is, if it's not delicious, you should not be eating it. So even healthy food should be delicious. So thank you so much for joining me. I hope to see you regularly, and I hope you have a good time with our guests. And whenever we meet, you can turn on this podcast, grab a cup of something yummy, and sit with us and enjoy. Y'all have a great day. Thanks for joining me.